Hi guys, welcome to my channel. So today I'm going to talk about my first job in television. So I graduated in the month of July. I quit my job at Caramel where I was working and I was like, yeah, I'm moving back home, I'm not staying in Birmingham. So anyway, I went back to the northeast where my mother lived, and this is where everything started. The anxiety, the worry, the what am I going to do with my life? But I ended up getting a job in retail again. So I was working for Quiz and I was also working for Marks & Spencer. So I was working two jobs. For those of you trying to make it into TV, there's a bunch of websites that I might talk about in a later video, but I haven't got a list of them right now. But there was a specific Facebook group called people looking for work in TV, runners. So this is the Facebook group I was accepted into this group. A bunch of job opportunities would always be posted on that Facebook page. Production companies or producers and stuff looking for runners, freelancers, camera operators, producers, all these things are posted on there, but mainly it would be runner positions. So I'd sit on this Facebook page maybe about 3 hours a day when I'm not working, and I would apply to every single job that I know I'm qualified for. I'll just be sending CVs out, so maybe like 6-7 CVs a day. You know, I was dedicated to this Facebook group. I was doing this for about 2-3 months and I'd heard absolutely nothing back. No one got back to me. I'd call up some production companies and they'd be like, whoever was successful will let them know. I'd never hear anything back. I was never one of those that was successful. But one day after work, I was just in a big rut. I was just so upset. I was just so down. And I went in my room, I just locked my door, and I literally cried for about 3 hours straight, no joke. I just crying about the fact that what am I gonna do? How am I gonna get my foot into this industry? I don't know anyone in this industry. I don't even live in London. I live by Newcastle, so it's so far away from London, and the media scene in Newcastle wasn't popping as it should be. There was a few things here and there, but there wasn't a lot going on. I remember just thinking, Lord Jesus, can you just help me find a way? Because I don't know what I'm doing. Just kept on overthinking everything. Am I even gonna make it? I've just wasted my 3 years studying this degree. I should have just stuck to my law degree. I'm not gonna get a job. No one's gonna call me back. No one's calling me back. I've heard nothing. I remember just being really down about it and super upset. Just what's going on? Why is it so hard? A lot of people I was seeing in my classes in uni that I'd already graduated with had jobs and stuff. They were getting opportunities. They were on set, and I'd always see their Snapchats and stuff, and I'm like, why is this not me? One day, I got a call from a post-production house. Me? Me? You want to invite Nadine? Are you sure? And anyway, everything was set up. I got my email, and I was like, "Come to London for a job interview in television." Hey. So I was super excited that I got the job interview. I was finally, my tears and prayers to God have been heard. Thank you, Lord Jesus. Went to London. Where everything gets interesting because, oh my God. I ended up being late for my interview. I got lost and I was late. I got no words for myself. So I get to the station. I thought, you know what, I'll just walk from the train station to the location of the post-production house, and that's where everything must up. I should have just called a cab and it would just drop me off in front of the building, but I thought, oh no, I'll save money, I'll walk. My God, I went round in circles trying to find this place. I ended up being late and I nearly broke down in the middle of the street thinking, why the hell did I not just take this cab? Anyway, I got lost. I called up the production house. I'm so sorry, I'm running late. I don't know what's going on. I've been asking so many people. Nobody knows this place. Nobody knows the name. Nobody's seen this building, you know? So I ended up getting there. I made my way there, and you guys know my sweat's already an issue, okay? My top is just soaked in BO, and I'm shaking oh Lord, I'm not getting this job. Well, I have my interview with the guy and we start talking, I introduce myself, and he was super nice and everything like that. So yeah, I apologise continuously. There's no need to apologise, many other interviewees got lost, so you're not the first. And I was like, oh my God, thank God. Yeah, so we just talk, he tells me about the role. He was like, so what do you expect of the role? And I'm like, yeah, I'm just here to learn, to advance my skills. He was asking me, what do you know about editing? Do you want to get into editing? And I was sort of like, no, I don't, but I'll tell you I do. Because I was like, yeah, it's just something I want to develop my skills in, because it's always good to have a knowledge of post-production. But then told me, okay, that's great. He said to me, you'll be making teas, coffees, tidying up the building, cleaning up the edit suites and stuff. And I was like, teas and coffees and cleaning. And he said, yeah, don't see it as a job, see it as a way to meet people, to get you where you need to be. Prior to this, when speaking with my lecturers and stuff like that, they'd all worked in TV. But for you to break into TV, you'd always start off as a runner. At the end of the day, it's an opportunity, you take it. So I then left my interview. Yeah, it was okay. At the back of my mind, I was really worried because I thought the fact that I was late was going to hinder my chances of getting anywhere. And you know, so I left. He was like, yeah, we'll give you a call later on today to let you know if you've made it through the next stage. First thing I do is I call my mum, and typical Nadine was late. She was like, oh, don't worry, it's not gonna be a problem, don't worry. And I'm like, huh? Like, what do you mean? She's like, yeah, it's not a problem, it's not gonna do anything, it's not gonna affect you. And I was like, did you hear what I said? She said, yeah, don't worry. Just let me know when you get the call to come in for your trial. 30 minutes before I was about to get on my coach, I get a call and they're like, hi Nadine, you were successful at this stage, would really like you to come in for a trial shift. And I was like, what? Oh my god, yes, 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 I'm going for a trial shift. I was like, yes, I'm coming, I'll do it. And it's so funny because if they'd called me like 20 minutes later, I'd have been on my coach the following Monday that I had my trial shift. So I started at 8 AM. The day of my trial shift, I make my way to a different building. I get there, I find the building, really nice location. And there was one guy there at the time, this was an MCR member, and he let me in. Didn't realise I'd be the only one there. I was like, what's going on? No one's here. Who's meant to be training me? What am I doing? I'm just sat there looking around, and the receptionist then came and she was like, hi, I'm so sorry, I forgot I was training today, da, da, da. And we acquaint ourselves, and she was really lovely. She actually helped me out a lot, so she was great. She gave me a quick overview of the building and the different floors. It wasn't that big, thank god. There was a few edit suites, and then she showed me the kitchen, which is where I'd be based, where I was making like teas, coffees, toasts, all the things for the clients. And I'm like, oh my god. The first thing that went through my mind is I want to get out of here, I don't want to do this. Anyway, I thought, you know what, just stick it out, Nadine, just stick it out. I really wanted to leave. This is what you have to do. Like, you have to be aware that you have to do things in life sometimes to, you know, get to the next step. I did the work and she gave me an overview. So my main task for making teas and coffees, I had no clue how to make a cup of coffee. I'd never drank coffee. Clients started calling and I was by myself, okay? I thought there'd be someone else there with me. No, there wasn't. I had to remember all these orders, remember all these rooms. Remembering orders wasn't a big of a deal. The big deal for me was dealing with, should I get each order to every room on time? People were calling. As soon as the phone would ring, someone would say what they wanted, I'd put it down, go to make it, someone else was calling, you know. So I had to be able to like learn to balance things in that. And every time I'd get a call about coffee, I'd have to go to reception and be like, hey, I'm so sorry, I don't know what this coffee is, can you please show me? On my trial shift, I also had to do like toilet runs. So I'd go across all the toilets in the building and make sure there was like toilet paper, it was tidy and clean, there was no like wet tissue or stuff around. Throughout the day it got better. I actually started to like lighten up a little bit because I think I went in with an expectation. It ended up being okay, you know. I started but around lunchtime I started to get into it a little bit more after doing it for 3 hours, just being rushed off my feet. I think the busier I got, the more I enjoyed it because I'm quite fast paced. It kind of took my mind off things, just having to like, you know, be on top of things with clients, you know. And yeah, so I did that for the first 3 hours, and then lunchtime came and I had to take lunch orders. Thank god there weren't a lot of lunch orders. So I went to every room with a massive tray and an iPad and a clipboard where I'd take each client's name and what they wanted to eat, you know. And at the same time I'd have to take away all the breakfast stuff. So I'd be making like 3-4 trips around the building because I'd go to one room, so you know, you wouldn't want to go in the same room like twice in the same hour. So I'd make sure I take the tray with me and all orders, and I'd go in with everything and make sure I take all their plates and cups and everything that they had from breakfast, and then I'll take their lunch order at the same time. So I was going up and down the stairs, you know, making sure everything was cleared up, and I got the hang of it and I enjoyed it. So it was lunchtime. I went around every room, I took all the orders as I said, and then the task of finding where all these bloody lunch places were was mad. I had no clue where these places were. I'd never been to any of these restaurants, you know. That people were saying like Itsu. Now I know what Itsu is, obviously sushi, but they were like Itsu, Wasabi, Leon. I'm like, what are these places? I've never heard of these places, you know. I made a list. There weren't many orders, but they were all across different locations. I now had to put the location of every food stop in my phone, and I was fully in my Google Maps. Thank god they weren't so far away from each other. New girl in the city, you know, trying to make her way around. That made me feel a bit like, ooh, okay, I'm in London now, you know, going around, looking at all these cute men and getting London, carrying bags of food and walking around like, ooh, okay, where am I going to next, you know. So I was doing that, so like, ooh. I did enjoy being out of the building at that. So yeah, and then the 2 o'clock guy came in, it was his shifts, and then I went on lunch, you know, and I was sort of like, you know what, I started the day really hating it. After the first hour of being there, I just wanted to leave. I didn't want to stay. I was like, I need to go. The more time I spent there, and I got to understand the role better and just being a bit more confident, you know, speaking to clients and stuff like that. I didn't actually know what to expect, and I think that was the main thing. But once I just kind of let it go and just accept it for what it was, it was okay. Anyway, my day ended and it was fine. I ended up meeting up with a friend again and we went for food and I talked about the whole thing, and I was like, you know what, I didn't want to do it, but after being there, it wouldn't be such a bad role to have, you know, because again, like, you got to see it from a perspective of, you know, networking with clients, because all the clients that are in the building are working on different projects. You know, you'd maybe get a chance to meet an executive on ITV if you wanted to and have a chat with them, you know, give them your CV if they were willing. You'd meet people from lots of different production companies come in. So if you were really on it, you could really network. It was a good pool of people to network with. I did get the job, and they called me and they told me, and I was super excited because I was like, you know what, I'm so glad I actually stuck it out, because if I'd left, I'd have probably been really upset with myself. But yeah, that was my first job in television. I was there for about 6 months, yeah, just doing that. Then I moved across to a different building again, and I met a lot more people. It was so much more fun, and I'm still friends with some of the guys and girls that I met in the other building, and yeah, it turned out to be a great experience. And from that I got another job, you know, and it just worked out. So it just kind of like made my way up. So yeah, that was my first job in television as a post-production runner, which I never thought I'd actually do. I never thought I'd work in post-production because I never wanted to. Like, my mindset and my goal was production, and it just so happened that that opportunity came along, and I am so glad I took it, because if I didn't, I'd probably still be at home right now crying. Going, why did I have a job? Yeah, that was my first job. Working in television in a post-production house. It was really good. I enjoyed it. I made lots of good friends that I'm still in contact with now. Glad that I finally got my break and I got to move to London, and I was working and I was doing something, and I was just grateful for the opportunity. So anyway, I'm gonna end this video. If you guys have any questions as to how, again, I got the job and, you know, the different companies that I applied to and stuff, you know, and where you can find these jobs, you can always contact me on my social media as well. I mainly use my Instagram, so I'll put that in the description box so you guys can message me to find out more. Good luck to all of you guys that are trying to find your first job in television as well, because it is hard. I appreciate it. You know, I cried for 3 months before I got my job. Thanks guys for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. Leave comments, subscribe to this channel if you'd like to see more content from moi, and I'll catch you guys in my next video. Bye!